Ladies and gentlemen, I will do a live stream a lot later this evening, but this is unbelievable, really interesting, hilarious news, and also news that we knew was eventually going to come. This is President Trump. Now Comey's admitting he was wrong. Wow. But he's only doing so because he got caught red-handed. He was actually caught a long time ago. That's an interesting. We'll talk about that. So what are the consequences for his unlawful conduct? Could it be years in jail? Where are the apologies to me and others, Jim? This is why I'm voting. One of the big reasons, the biggest reason is he wants to scale back U.S. foreign policy. He's removing American soldiers from regions of conflict. He's the first president to begin détente, step foot in North Korea, and start a roadmap to peace between North and South Korea. That is a fact. That is a fact. They always try to denigrate Trump and disparage and demean and say, oh, it was a photo op. No, it wasn't. Moon Jae-in of South Korea said that the president of South Korea, Moon Jae-in, said that Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for what he did. President Obama, Bush, Clinton could never even have imagined what Trump was able to accomplish in that region of the world. So I'm voting for Trump. His foreign policy is light years ahead of President Bush and President Obama, and I feel that foreign policy is a lot more important than climate change. If you say, oh my God, how could you? The previous administration, a Democrat in office, President Obama, presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production. Don't think that's too Green New Deal friendly. So you're talking about hypocrites when they're not in the Oval Office. Oh my God, the sky is falling. We're living on borrowed time. When they're in the Oval Office, taking money from oil and gas, all that stuff, not a problem. So the rhetoric doesn't correlate with the superlatives and issues that suddenly become calamities when they're not in the Oval Office anymore. Anyway, the reason I love President Trump, in addition to the fact that he wants peace also with Russia. The Cold War is over. Democrats have to relive the past because they lost. He goes up against corrupt, I'm talking corrupt FBI officials, okay? He goes up against corrupt intelligence officials. These people are not elected. You hear this nonsense from Democrats and liberals. The framers of the Constitution. The framers. You think James Madison, when he wrote the Bill of Rights, is thinking of Comey and Strzok and McCabe and Clapper? No, he was specifically writing. The Bill of Rights was specifically written to protect us from these people. That's exactly why we have the Bill of Rights. So here. Wow, but he's okay, so Politico, Trump hints at jail time after Comey says I was wrong about FISA process. Then Comey says, he's right. Comey says, this is hilarious. It's like salt of the earth, Comey. He's right. I was wrong, Comey told host Chris Wallace on Fox Sunday. I was overconfident in the procedures that the FBI and Justice Department had built over 20 years. I thought they were robust enough. It's incredibly hard to get a FISA. Yeah, it's incredibly easy when you're falsifying information on purpose. He's right. There was real sloppiness. No, there wasn't sloppiness. This is hilarious. The plausible deny, they live their lives. Democrats, intelligence chiefs, the media. If it were Trump's FBI, and they had 17 falsifications, omissions of the truth, omissions of exculpatory evidence to deceive numerous judges on 3 different FISA applications, you better believe that they would put 2 and 2 together and say, wait a second. The people who said we will stop Trump in text messages to their lovers, the people who said we will stop Trump, that, you know what, they were talking about via text message and emails, how upset they were, how horrified they were that he won, how they couldn't stand him. Those people who happened to falsify information to deceive judges to start a completely, fabricated investigation, those people, yeah, they did it on purpose. But Comey would have you believe that, gee, I'm sorry, it was sloppy. You know what? No, it's my fault. It's my fault. Actually, I was the one who was at fault for actually believing the government would do its job. No, blame me. It's like it's like a non-apology. Like, I apologize that you're so sensitive for the things that I said. And, that's not really an apology. That's not really an apology. Oh, I totaled your car. I'm sorry. You should probably fix the steering. Brakes need work, but sorry I totaled your car. No, it's like I lent you the car. It's actually your fault. The brakes were fine. Everything was fine. He's blaming somebody else. He's blaming the government for his FBI agents falsifying information on purpose. The issue is, the plausible denial, they live their lives in this existence of plausible deniability. You can't prove the Uranium One officials gave money into the Clinton Foundation to grease the wheels of a sale where President Obama just happened to not veto the sale. Why didn't President Obama veto the sale? Why? Did it have anything to do with the Clinton Foundation? Why would it have anything to do with the Clinton Foundation? It's a completely different charitable foundation. He has nothing to do with it. Well, they're both leading the Democratic Party, and it's a Democratic administration, and money went into the Clinton Foundation. So, and that was actually not good for U.S. national security. Yellow cake uranium was shipped out. It was shipped out to Canada. And then some was shipped out to Europe. Yeah, we already acknowledged that, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence that it was actually, shipped to the Kremlin. It's like, yeah, well, it was shipped everywhere else. And there's always no evidence until you find out that yellow cake shipped outside of the United States of America, according to the New York Times, could easily find its way anywhere on the planet, not just Russia. So if they're smart enough to use the shipping, the licenses of shipping, the export licenses of trucking companies to deceive the Nuclear Regulatory Commission here, you don't think that Putin's smart enough to get it to Moscow? These are the people who want you to believe that Russia infiltrated the last election to buy Facebook ads and then hack the DNC to inform the country that Bernie Sanders was cheated, thus giving Clinton the popular vote, while at the same time giving swing states to Trump because of Facebook ads that nobody saw. And then ultimately Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. But Clinton won fair and square, and actually it was Bernie Sanders who didn't endorse Clinton long enough. And then you have the issue with Bernie. I don't even want to get into it. I explained it on my other channel. And when I did that segment, I didn't know, I'm not even going to get into it, but I didn't know about, what? What do you mean, he said? He said what? About horses? Oh, the Michigas. How do I unendorse this man? What? He said, doing what? With farm animals? Oh, my God. I dabbled as a kid, but no. Oh, my God. The Michigas. Okay, fine. We are unendorsing because this movement is bigger than one human being. It's a movement of everyone who says, yes, Debbie Wasserman, may we have another. That's what the movement is about. The entire thing is a gigantic, enormous, ever-expanding scam. And you have people who were like, oh, yeah, I think Bernie's going to win this year. No, he could have won in 2016 when I was saying he could have won. That was the time to say, no, his opponent was a criminal. We're not voting for his opponent. And that's it. You cheated Bernie. If you cheat Bernie, you will not get the vote. And people say, I like Bernie. You like Bernie? I like Bernie. You like Bernie? Oh, I like Bernie. What's going to happen when he gets cheated again? Like Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard. What, you ever wonder why Elizabeth Warren was there? Oh, Warren, thanks so much. Oh, wow. You split my movement in two. That's fantastic. Thanks for your endorsement in 2016. Not. You didn't endorse me, but guess who did? Tulsi Gabbard, and she's a Russian operative. Why do you think, what do you think when people are like, I love Bernie? Oh, will you, if he's cheated again or by some miraculous occurrence, Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton says she's running, and then she wins again. Are you going to vote for Clinton? Again? I don't know. Yeah, you probably will. You want to be a Trump supporter? Yeah, I'm voting anything aside from the orange monster. Well, then you've just fulfilled the prophecy, fulfilled the Democratic Party. You've rewarded the shenanigans. This is the second straight election. Nobody else had a chance but Clinton. Clinton is going to run again. She's the only person who could raise $1.2 billion because that's how the Democratic Party machined. It's a political machine. That's how it's run. You have people who are pretending that they are fighting the establishment, the Democratic establishment, but the Democratic establishment is all the Democrats have. They don't have anything else. Now, there's people who want Medicare for all. God bless them. That's a noble idea. It's not feasible, but let's say I'm wrong and it was feasible. That's even worse because you have Democrats who know it's feasible but don't pass it through the House of Representatives. Nah, I don't think so. They are funneling the votes of the most impressionable voters, the most idealistic voters on the left. And it doesn't matter if you have a rose icon, or if you're an anarchist, it doesn't matter who you are on the left. I got into debates with Occupy Wall Street people. They're like, oh, we're voting for Clinton. I'm like, what? you not Jill Stein? You were Occupy Wall Street, you're voting for somebody like Clinton, who $153 million from Wall Street, said you had a public and private face to investment banks. Anyway, UBS, all that stuff. And the point is, you have the intelligence community. You have Clinton with a private server with top secret and special access program intelligence. Anyone in the United States of America not only would have been indicted, they would have jailed the person before even the trial. That was a complete cover-up. Peter Strzok deliberately, with intent to save Madam Secretary, deleted references to gross negligence, which correlates to U.S. Code 793F. You do not need intent when you are transferring top secret intelligence on servers. The fact that it happened, game, set, match. Those are indictments. That was a cover-up. Then the fabricated investigation to make everything, morally relative. We can't have Clinton versus Trump just as who they are. So Clinton's actual crimes have to be compared to Trump's fabricated crimes. He spoke to the Ukraine to investigate the Noble Arky bus tour. No, he didn't. Even Biden's own defense is like, well, I fired the prosecutor and I said they wouldn't get $1 billion because that country's so corrupt. So then Trump's like, yeah, we had a moment where they didn't get the money to make sure that the country would get the money in a manner where there's no corrupt politicians who would funnel some of the funds. Oh, no, we don't believe you. That's exactly what Biden was saying. Plus, you have President Zelensky stating there was no conflict. There was no leverage, no pressure at all. Plus, you have Marie Yovanovitch saying, "Oh yeah, we were given talking points by President Obama's administration." So, yeah, about Hunter Biden's. That's just my Hunter Biden. About Hunter Biden's conflicts of interest. But anyway, you have people like Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan. You have the average voter on the left who's like, Medicare for all, yeah! They don't realize you cannot have Medicare for all, even if it's feasible with Bill Kristol and Max Boot's foreign policy, which is an interventionist foreign policy, which is Clinton's foreign policy, which is the Democratic Party's Biden, which is all their foreign policy. You can't have the two, and you certainly can't have a Green New Deal, Medicare for all, and all that stuff with intelligence chiefs framing and setting up people they don't like. Because that works for the benefit of people like Max Boot and Bill Kristol and Clinton with their foreign policy. The corruption on the left is so overt, and it's so overt it doesn't even hide. If you want to say it hides in plain sight, Democrats are like, we'll consider the Green New Deal and all that stuff. None of this stuff is feasible. That's an existential issue they face. Democrats, their most interesting and exciting policies are not feasible. So they're Republican light on most things, and that's. The great thing about Trump is that he's not Republican, he's not Democrat, he's Trump. So you get him going after intelligence officials. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right now.